and the Warriors season comes to an end as we welcome everybody to Toyota Warriors Postgame Live with the Hall of Famer Chris Mullin, NBA champion Festus Ezeli. I am Bonte Hill. The Suns began the game on a 13-2 run. Actually, the Warriors scored the first bucket to go on a 13-0 run, and they really controlled the pace. The turnovers did the Warriors in, the theme of the season, and they just could not get over that hump in the second half.
Yeah, Bonte, game of runs. All right, the first half of the first quarter actually belonged to the Phoenix Suns. I thought they came out and hit first. Second quarter belonged to the Warriors. They came back from an 18-point deficit in the first quarter. Came back and won the second quarter by about, 14 points, about 13, 14 points. And I think this is what the first half looked like, back and forth. Second half was a different story. I thought the Phoenix Suns really took matters into their own hands. I thought Jalen Green was special. His ability to score, he got into a rhythm early. I mean, watching the Warriors right now, they feel like they left it all on the floor. Because it's one of those games where you feel like all the things, the culmination of everything that's happened this season was injuries, it was turnovers, guys trying to get some kind of rhythm on the floor together, and tonight just showed all those things together.
Mully, that quick turnaround from the Clippers game Wednesday night really did the Warriors in. Kristaps Porzingis did not look like himself. The ankle obviously bothering him. Steph Curry did not look like the guy we saw Wednesday night in that second half against the Clippers when he scored 27 of his 35 points. They just were a step slow, couldn't get to the 50-50 balls. Passes, they looked fatigued all night long, and you have to give the Suns credit. They got the rest, they were at home, and they were just a step quicker all night long.
Yeah, as you just said, they left it all on the floor. They left it in L.A. in that game. It took a lot out of them. There was it was a championship type of win for the Warriors against the Clippers. But I said pregame, my biggest thing was how they're going to recover between games. This Phoenix Suns team, average age of about 26, 14th in the league. The Warriors are the oldest team in the league. They played Tuesday, so an extra day of rest. They're at home. All those things worked in their advantage. But they still had to come out and execute knockdown shots. And the guy, the biggest star of the night, was Jalen Green. A guy who has historically really struggled against the Warriors. You see the numbers there. Bonte, you can read them off there.
Yeah, 31% from the floor. Remember last year in Game 2, Jalen Green dropped 38 points on the Dubs and made 8 threes. In the other 6 games, he only averaged 9 points a game. He was awful from the floor, shot in the low 30s. Well, tonight, and this is back-to-back playing nights, and Fezzi, we all discussed this in the pregame show. Would Jalen Green be capable of having back-to-back nights like he did? Tuesday night against the Blazers, he was special, 14-29. He had 35 points. Well, tonight, he scored 22 points in the second half alone. He was rolling.
Yeah, Bonte, I thought the Warriors did a good job on Jalen Green early in the game. They let him get some easy baskets there in the second quarter. And from there, just like any young player, any young talented player, once you let him get some life, it's hard to stop him. He's a really tough shot maker. And some really tough bombs he hit after he got some confidence. Then from there, you could see it. You could even see in the way he was dribbling the basketball. He was ready to go by anybody who was in front of him and guarded him. Jalen Green really needed this. This was his first game against the Warriors this season. And for them, I think they feel like this is a star they can build around moving into the future.
Yeah, Jalen Green is so talented. And you say he's definitely capable. Was it probable? Not by the numbers. He's really struggled against the Warriors defense. But we mentioned pregame, Bonte. He's one of those guys that can make really tough shots. Borderline bad shot maker. I mean, he just takes sometimes very questionable shots, but he has the ability to make them because of his athleticism. He got that fast break dunk. He also made that 3 at the end of the half.
End of the half.
So at halftime, he had 14 points. He made 4 threes and that dunk. So he felt good about the way things were going for himself. Then things opened up for him. As Fezzi said, he was beating people off the dribble. That's what you said. Warriors look a step slow. Definitely from the Clipper game. But once he knocked down those threes, he made some mid-ranges. He was driving by people for layups. Really put together a big-time game, back-to-back games.
Yeah,
so you got to give him his credit.
That 3 before the half was huge because it gave Phoenix a 5-point lead. And in the first 6 minutes of the third quarter, Phoenix outscored the Warriors 17-8 to stabilize the game and go back up 16. Jalen Green, what a night for him. And then we discussed this all season long, Fezzi. And we said if the Warriors turn the ball over 20 times tonight against Phoenix, it's going to spell trouble. Well, guess what, folks? They committed 21 turnovers tonight. They gave up 30 points off those turnovers. They're a minus 20 when it came to points off turnovers, and it happened early and often, Fezzi. 9 turnovers in the first quarter alone.
I mean, the first quarter, 9 turnovers. Second half, 10 turnovers. I mean, the Warriors, this is one thing they can't have, especially on a night when they're not shooting the ball very well. They give up, how many points off of turnovers they give up tonight, Bonte?
30
points.
35, Wednesday.
Minus 20.
30,
You're
yep.
struggling to score. You shoot 40% in the first half. Man, these are things that the Warriors, you got to find ways to take care of the basketball. This has been the story all season long, and tonight was kind of like an exam. What have you learned all year long? Yeah. I think the Warriors kind of showed that, I mean, that's something they have to figure out a way to take care of.
But that's fatigue. That's mental and physical fatigue, a little bit of focus. And we mentioned pregame, both these teams are one of the top 10 in deflections. So you have to be extra careful handling the ball. But I do think that's a result of physical fatigue. So there are minus 20 points off turnovers. Mm-hmm. And we also mentioned pregame about the three-point shooting. Both teams rely heavily on three-point shooting. The Suns make 18 to the Warriors 11, so it's a minus 21. So it is minus 41, just those two categories.
No doubt. And then you add in the fact that Steph Curry didn't have it going tonight. He was just 3 of 10 from the three-point line, 4 of 16 overall. At times he was compromised with his runner's knee. You could tell he was not right. I know he had a magical night Wednesday against the Clippers, scoring a 35-27 coming to them in the last 2 quarters. But tonight he just could not find a rhythm. And give the Suns credit, Fezzi. They switched everything. Not having Mark Williams in the game, Iguodala was switching on to him. They limited the three-point attempts for Steph Curry early and often, and you see the numbers right there. And that's a big reason why the Golden State Warriors lost tonight.
Yeah, Steph could not get it going. A lot of it was also the Warriors just couldn't get anything going. And you see there's 3 guys on Steph as he's going to the lane. There was no guys making shots out of the rim. And I thought the second half was the Warriors looking to Steph to save them, bail them out. Steph has given you everything. You know, coming back from this injury, playing, you see him, he was banged up, he was limping tonight. Somewhere through the game, he was limping. It looked like he hurt his knee again. This is one of the things that's going to bother the Warriors. And you kind of have it in your mind. And you wonder if they win this game, is it even worth it? Because you don't want Steph to get hurt more than what he's already been. I thought he had a tough shooting night, but that's just a result of the whole team really struggling. No offensive rhythm, turning the ball over, and other guys struggling shooting the floor, shooting for the ball. It made the floor shrink, and then Steph couldn't really get it going.
Yeah, obviously missing those 27 games at the end of the season there took Steph totally out of his rhythm, and not so much on-court rhythm, but his body recovery rhythm of playing every other day consistently. Your body gets used to that rhythm. His body didn't have that, so it's no coincidence his first game back against the Rockets was his best game. He was fresh, the adrenaline was flowing. He had a few shaky games in there before the play-in. Was dynamite against the Clippers, especially in the second half. And then tonight, and we said it pregame, Porzingis, Steph, Draymond, and Horford, how they recover. Steph and Porzingis struggled tonight physically. Draymond looked solid, but not great, and Horford was okay. So I think the Clipper game really took a lot out of those 4 players. And then the other thing, too, is you got to give Phoenix credit. I thought watching that Clipper game, they were very aware of not having a big center on Steph Curry and drop coverage. Most times Steph came off the dribble pick and rolls. It was another small to switch or double. And even on those flash screens and pin downs, it was small on small. They didn't have a Mark Williams. It might have been a blessing he didn't play.
No doubt. Warriors just go 8 deep tonight against the Phoenix Suns to get blown out in the Valley. And now we have a plethora of question marks going on with this roster moving forward. Will Steve Kerr be back? Will Draymond Green be back with this player option? You got